Yo, Joe! Welcome back to the G.I. Joe Role-Playing Game Actual Play featuring Order from Disorder, the very first actual play of the brand new RPG from Renegade Games, the G.I. Joe Role-Playing Game. I'm your host and Game Master, Jason Charles Miller, together with players Amanda McKnight as Diamond, Alicia Marie as Mugshot, Michelle Wynn Bradley as Vale, and Ryan Costello as Circles. We'll be taking you on a collaborative adventure through the world of G.I. Joe. This is episode 8. We last left our Joes in the middle of the ocean, near the Spratly Islands, off the coast of what their hacked intelligence is telling them is a secret Cobra D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R missile launch site. Along with D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R, they battled 4 giant anglerfish genetically mutated by Cobra. Allegedly. I think we can pretty much guess that they did that, especially when Cobra Commander hacked in and said, "Do you enjoy my pets?" So yeah. I think we're clear there.
Cobra's going to sue if you don't say allegedly?
Jason's worried.
I mean, Cobra Commander's got a lot of, I'm sure he's got a lot of lawyers. If he's got that much money, he can out-lawyer me for sure. No offense to my lawyers. All right. Okay. Our Joes defeated the anglers, but there's no sign of D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R or his shark vehicle anywhere. Do they drive on to the island, or do they start looking for D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R? Leave it up to you guys.
Do we drive on to the island, or do we start looking for D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R?
I mean, D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R headed to the island ahead of us. Would he do something like that?
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like it's a no Joe left behind situation. We can scan
fate of the
does
world
like to
or the
be
fate
alone.
of one guy.
Oof. A moral quandary. Well, D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R, there's a chance that, even if his ship failed, he literally had on his deep sea diving suit and life support system. So he could just be waiting. You know what? Why don't I try to connect with him via the HTV and see if he'll respond at all?
Brilliant.
So I try to ring up our comrade in arms.
You hear
D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R, you there?
Far side island, bigger angler fighting.
Okay, it sounds like he is engaged in battle with a huge anglerfish on the far side of the island, or a far side island.
Well, maybe we should go help him then, because I don't know about you, but those anglerfish we fought, I felt like they were really hard just by themselves.
Yeah, they took a few chunks out of our shark.
Yeah,
D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R is only one man.
Plus more Joes on the island would probably make our mission go faster anyway. So really, we're saving time if we go get D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R first. Is my thought.
Or just saving your fellow Joe. That could also be.
I'm trying to do the
logistics.
Math. Logistics only. That's Vale's thing. So let's go find him.
So,
and I guess we try to go to where we think the far side of the island is. So maybe the opposite direction of where we are, or around the side.
Well, I assume if we're heading to like one part of the island, I would just assume whatever the opposite side of that is I'm assuming the far side.
Yeah, it only makes sense. Like, if he's going to say far side, it's got to be relative to us or where he last was.
Yeah.
Yes. Otherwise, why would he say it? So the opposite side from where we were going, I guess.
Yes, the island that is, I believe, earlier, if I didn't say this, is about a mile in front of you. Your radar seems to be partially obscured beyond the coastline of the island, so you can't see beyond that unless you start to move around it.
Do we know what shape the island is?
It's roughly it's roughly an oval shape, with.
Okay. Not a snake shape or anything?
Not a snake shape.
Strange. Okay.
And are we a normal? It appears to be a normal island shape.
Okay. And so, are we heading when we're going in, Jason? Are we heading to like the long side, or are we heading to one of the short sides? Is that what we were heading?
You're heading to the other long side. So you've approached one long side. You're going to go around the corner.
Right. So we'd be going around the back. Okay. I wanted to see if is there any way that we would like to approach from the back, or should we like keep our distance maybe from the island a bit, or just go like right around it?
It would probably be faster to fly over the island since these submarines can fly, but then we would be all over Cobra's radar.
These submarines can fly?
News to me.
Yeah, you didn't notice when we
Yeah,
flew
you
off the
flew
deck.
in.
Well, I thought we just sort of coast anyway.
But we fell in.
Yeah. I think we should stay in the water, because if the only thing in the water is just anglerfish, that's safer than fighting all of Cobra if we go up above and get detected.
If they see us. That's
So we
true.
stay in the water and approach, I guess.
Okay.
All right, so we take a wide turnaround.
Yes.
Yeah, like keep a little bit of distance.
All right, we do that.
Okay, as you
There
start
we go.
rounding the corner of one of the islands, but by corner, the longer side, now your radar is going haywire because the four dots that you saw before when you were encountering the giant anglerfish are now dwarfed by one giant dot in the middle of your radar. It's about 50 feet down in the water.
Wait.
We're
It's still quite a few hundred yards ahead of you, but 50 feet down.
Right.
All right, I think that we might need to do a hit and run here. See if we can ram this thing, get D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R hooked onto the sharks, and then get out of there. I don't think we're going to beat a bigger angler.
Yeah, just rescue and abort. Sounds good.
How many missiles do you have on your shark, Mugshot and Vale? Do you have any missiles left?
We think we only used missiles once, and then we used the machine gun the rest of the time.
We have missiles left. We didn't use both of our torpedoes, so we're good.
So one.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we have one
Yes.
left.
I think that's a good plan, Circles.
Maybe we open with that missile.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
we approach the giant blip.
As you approach, you see an angler maybe 3 times the size of the last 4 anglers, and you see Deep Six. He has fired his one and only harpoon into it, and he's hanging on to the harpoon rope behind it as he's firing into the angler with his pistol. But it doesn't seem to be doing much good. As he's just barely avoiding the angler snapping down on him with his giant claws as he just gets out of the way.
Well, I don't
By
know that we
holding
can
on to
use...
that harpoon and that line, it's at least keeping him sort of one step ahead of the fish.
Yeah, don't use a torpedo.
Right. Maybe get him first, and then I'll torpedo if we need to, if he's getting chased. We are getting chased.
All right, Diamond sounds like we're the ones going up close.
Great. I love that for us.
Okay, I'm going to need a really good driving score here.
Right.
Now, the way the shark is designed, there are those 2 underneath the wings that he can grab onto, so you don't need to open up your cockpit to get him.
Right.
Right? How do those devices work underneath the wings?
Let's see. It just says that they can attach to it. I would say a standard action to attach yourself to the rocket rider positions.
Okay.
So Mugshot, do you want to maybe lend support to this since you're also a driver? I don't know if there's any driving advice you might have for Circles in this moment before we do this maneuver.
Help or assist. That's true.
On the comms?
Could do a distraction move, perhaps.
Ooh.
But I don't know if I don't know if the rules could be if you're in one vehicle and Circles is in a separate vehicle. I don't know if you being in your vehicle can help assist him driving. But you could try a move that might distract the fish.
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong, right? Like that doesn't seem physically possible.
Well, I mean, we're in communication with each other, so she could be like bank left now. Like, it's basically an extra set of eyes.
Okay.
All right.
So it's like we use the mechanics, but we flavor it how we want, sort of, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So I can use driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be clear, just so you also note, his Deep Six's vehicle, his shark, is nowhere to be found.
22.
Oh, you don't actually have to roll for lending assistance.
Oh.
It just gives him an upshift, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You've set the bar that I have to roll higher than, otherwise I feel bad.
Yeah.
The number I'm looking for is a 22.
All right, so I'll also be using the autopilot to give myself another upshift, which means I'm rolling with a D8. I got a 19.
Ooh.
Okay. You manage to maneuver your shark to where Deep Six can grab onto, and I'm going to make a roll to see if he can grab onto, and that would be athletics.
Yeah.
I would say for him.
Yeah, athletics is swimming, so water maneuverability makes sense.
If you roll a 1 on your skill die, but you don't roll a 1 on the D20, is that considered a fumble, or it has to be a 1 and a 1?
It has to be a 1 on the D20 and a failed roll.
Oh, I see. Well, he doesn't fumble, but he definitely fails.
Yeah. All right.
So he tries to grab on and doesn't. Now let's enter initiative then.
Okay.
So we shall roll for initiative.
Better. Last time.
I could not be worse than last time.
Okay. Great.
8.
15.
And I got +2.
Okay, so Circle's got a 15. Who got an 8?
Mugshot.
Okay.
got a
I also
14.
got Oh yeah, go ahead.
I got a 14.
I also got a 15. So I love that that's your bad, Ryan. Like your worse is like good for me. I'm like,
No,
that's
no.
good.
I couldn't do worse than last time when I rolled.
Oh, right.
2
'cause
ones.
last time
got
you
a
rolled
2.
snake eyes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. No, this time I did fine.
Oh boy.
And since you both got 15s, let's do a quick roll off.
Well, I mean, I'm piloting and Cheek's co-piloting. Can we just say I'll go first?
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm fine with
Makes
that.
sense to me. And Gail, you got the 14, right?
Yeah, I got 14. Yep.
Oh, I did. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Dale did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In initiative, Deep Six actually got the best roll, but he's going to hold his action because he wants you to swing back around and try to get him again. So he's going to hold on to that line for dear life and try to stay behind. So he'll hold his action. Now that the giant angler has seen you, it's going to take a bite. Attempt to take a bite.
Man, your ship doesn't have a lot of HP left, though, huh?
Nope.
Circles and diamonds.
Well,
3?
Because you were trying to do a slick maneuver, I'm going to say, so he got a 24, but your for the shark, your evasion is 26. So I'm going to allow you to use evasion this time against that attack.
Right.
Because of the move that you were trying to make.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he misses.
Okay.
So now Circles, it is your turn.
What do I have to do to pick up? I guess just another driving test?
Another driving test, and then he will try to grab on again.
Okay. So I'll use the autopilot once again. 9.
Okay.
I think that's worth a story point.
Yeah, sure.
We've got plenty, but it's fine.
Yeah, I would take it.
Oh.
I would take
12.
12. It's not going to do it. You try to get in there and it skims off. You actually bounce off the side of the angler and just don't quite get in there. So because Deep Six. Now, you could radio to Deep Six. Is the other vehicle going to try to get him instead?
I think we could.
Or is the other
Let's
vehicle going to be a
good
distraction?
I think you should try to get him. And if anything, because we failed it, we can also shoot and kind of end up as the distraction. And we can kind of just try to weave in and out here, I think is the best.
Especially, we're not going to be using the torpedo, which is the reason that you were the ones that were staying back.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to blow up Deep Six.
Yeah.
Correct.
You don't want to send Deep Six to Davy Jones's locker?
Oh.
No.
Is it my turn? I'm not sure what's happening anymore.
It's actually Diamond's turn.
Okay.
Right. So I think I'm going to fire the machine gun then. That should be pretty safe. It's a pretty big target.
Is the machine gun a fixed... I was trying to figure out last episode. Is the machine gun a fixed or can it be...
We just say, like, you can attack from any angle.
Okay, so you can turn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll just push the button that says turn it. And I will also take aim before I use the machine gun. Oh, where is my...
The targeting actuator computer?
Yes, the targeting actuator computer, which Diamond totally knows the name for. She's like, yes, the targeting actuator. I imagine there's just like a literal like label on that.
Yeah.
And she's
not
like, thank
abbreviated
goodness
either.
everything's labeled.
Tiny font.
Yeah. Cool. So with my upshift there, because I took aim, I got a 15.
That's not going to be enough.
Okay.
This is a tough cookie. And pretty spry also.
All right. I like tough cookies.
And
soft cookies. All cookies.
It's now your turn.
Not all people are cookies, Diamond. Come on, have some respect. So I'm not the driver, but so can I just attempt to drive, or is it not? It's like sort of like a one seat situation.
Right?
Yeah, so one of you is the designated driver, so you can lend your assistance, or you can be the gunner.
Okay, I'll just use the regular machine gun then to try to take more HP off this angler. My D6. I'll use aim to upshift this. Never mind. It's on my weapon. It's not on this ship. I have an upgrade, but not for this. It's fine. I'm just rolling normal. As a 24, a 20, and a 4. I have rolled. Very good.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. So tell me how much damage you do and what kind.
Well, is that 4 on a D4?
It's on a D8, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's not a crit?
Yeah, not
so
a
that
crit.
would be 1 sharp damage.
Let me ask you something. A little game mechanics question in the middle of combat. So is the idea behind... Now, obviously, it's easier to crit on a D4 than it is on a D12. Right. But is the idea behind that the fact that if you have a D12 as your skill die, it's giving you a better chance of hitting each time?
And
exactly therefore, it's reducing your
you're trading accuracy for effect.
You're critting accuracy, but if you're hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting, then that makes up for the mechanic of critting less, right?
Exactly. So the D2 was the only one that it was like the odds are too high. That's why we make that the exception.
Yeah.
But it also means that when you specialize and you roll in the whole pool of them, now you get the benefit of both a high likelihood of critting and a high likelihood of hitting.
Right.
I really like that.
That's cool. Is there any way that you can, are there any abilities, Ryan, where you can give yourself like a better crit chance on a D12? Like where you can be like, you crit on either an 11 or a 12, like either of your two highest, or is that not a thing in this book?
It's not a thing yet.
I think that could be cool.
That could be cool. It is a thing that certain abilities lets you crit with a D2. Like the sniper can crit with the sniper rifle on a D2. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get a sniper rifle next time.
Well, you need the sniper focus. You're a spy, right? Or no, you're an infiltrator.
Yes. But snipers are silent weapons, so maybe at some point in Diamond's life, she will study how to be a sniper. Could be useful.
Thematically, they're kind of side by side, so yeah.
I think so.
It is Mugshot's turn.
Okay, so what I want to do is, okay, so this thing is closer to Circles and Diamond's shark than ours, correct?
Right. So
Or
they
is it-
just came in, tried to grab Deep Six, were unsuccessful. Now you're coming in right behind to hopefully do the same thing.
Okay. Well, then I guess I can use the remaining torpedo. Oh, but well, I think I'll hit Deep
Right.
Six, won't I? Yeah. So then, can I create some sort of like a tidal wave by like driving, like, and then swerving the ship a little bit to create a wave that would push the thing further? Or will it push?
Well,
Deep
you
Six
could
away?
ram it, but Deep Six has held his action. Once he saw that Circles didn't get close enough to grab him, he held his action to the end of this turn. So if you wanted to try to retrieve him, he could still grab on if you fly close enough.
Really?
Uh-huh.
All right, then I'm gonna try it then. I don't want to leave him swimming. As much as I want to kill things, well, stun things. I think I should try to save them.
Defeat things.
Yeah, so like defeating monsters. So she's gonna drive by, but then carefully, like pump the brake. I don't know what it is in that thing, whatever it's called, to
Water
pick him
brakes.
up.
So you're
I
going
think
to do a
the
driving roll, and you're going to use the, don't forget to add the D6 for the autopilot assisting you.
Nice. This is actually a really good roll then. Wait, I shouldn't have said that. All right, let's
It's okay. We've got lots of story points.
oh, wait, 8, 4, 2. What's I can't add. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know if 15's gonna hit. 15.
A 15 will get you close enough. So now it's up to him to make a successful athletics check to grab. Because, I mean, this is all happening so fast underwater.
I don't want to fail, fellow Joe, but I don't trust my dice.
He gets a 23.
Oh, wow.
So Deep Six is now successfully grabbed onto the bottom of the wing of your shark. And he's in the process of strapping himself in, but he's just holding on for dear life. He lets go of the line of the harpoon that's stuck in the giant angler and is now flying along with you.
All right.
Oh my God.
I let everyone know. We got him. Mugshot got him.
Okay.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, should we maybe attack it one more time just so he has time to secure himself? Does he seem secure?
I like the way you
Good
think.
idea.
All right, you two
Just to
get out
make
of here.
sure.
We're going to ram this thing.
Deep Six says, yeah, hit him on the way out. Why not?
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
The most emotion you've heard from him since you've met him.
Calm down there, Deep Six. Don't get too excited.
Okay. Sweet.
So it is actually he was first in initiative, and since he's held his initiative till the end of that round, does he get to go? Each system is different. We haven't encountered this question before. He held his action till the end of the round. Now, does that where he will stay, or now that we're in a new round, is he actually back up front and can take another action right now?
Right. So in essence, 20 turns, he's not holding his action. He set a contingency action to grab onto a shark as soon as it got close enough. And so that was, his action was still on his turn. It just took, like, the result of his action took place later in the round. So now it's, he's still in his spot in the initiative.
Okay, well then for his initiative, he's going to strap himself in. So he is now fully strapped, so to speak. But it is the super giant. Since the other ones were giant anglers, for fun, I called this one the super giant angler. So the super giant angler, it's now its turn, and it's gonna try to ram your shark. Mugshot.
Oh, mugshots. Oh.
Yes,
No.
because you came in first, missed. Mugshot came in, grabbed him. He's like, nope, I'm slamming you. So he's going to...
We have more HP.
Brace yourself.
A ramming blow.
These deep 6 is secure.
And gets a 27.
Come on.
Which would get your toughness regardless. So you take one more blunt damage.
We're at 4, right, Alicia?
Okay, well, we
Buckshot?
have. Oh, yeah.
We're at 4 now.
So you 4 now. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You guys
4
are doing
health,
good.
Not 4 damage.
Yeah.
4 health.
So we're suffering a little bit of a little bit of a knock.
Fine, I
here,
can
but
fix it. It's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
I don't know if I can. I'm just saying it out loud.
Okay, believe circles. You're next.
All right. Is the plan still to distract this thing?
Yeah.
All right. I ram it.
May as well.
19 to ram.
Ooh,
That will just hit. Yes.
Nice. All right. So that's 1 blunt damage.
Thanks.
nice.
He was also partially damaged from Deep 6 fighting him.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
He's still very much alive, but
Yeah, I wasn't going to say. Let's finish it.
Right. So I'm going to use the machine gun to blast them. And I will take aim before I do that. So I get an upshift. It's terrible. It's not good. We got 13.
You remember you get an edge when you're firing it? Because it's a linked
I get an
weapon?
edge?
Yeah.
Yay.
What? What? Why do I get an edge? What?
Because it's a linked weapon. It's got a trait
Oh.
that gives you an edge on your attacks.
I haven't been taking that this entire time. Oh my goodness. That's amazing though. That's so cool. Well, that's that. Then that's much better. That is 22.
Nice.
that's going to hit.
Sweet. So
you
that
do
is
the-
1 sharp damage.
Okay. You're filling that thing full of holes. Metaphorically, of course. You're
Yes.
stunning it.
Stun holes.
Yeah.
Does it seem like it's gonna chase us, or should we just run away and cut the I'm on the comms. Hey, are we? Was the plan to run away, or are we taking it down totally 100%?
You run, and then we'll
okay.
catch up.
Oh, okay. But so I think it's my turn, but I can't pilot, so I just.
But
I mean, if I'm still in range, I might as well shoot it, right? If we're moving and going,
Mm-hmm.
if I can shoot
Yeah.
it, we're moving.
You shoot
I
it
do
on the
that.
way out.
All right, so that's fine. So I'll do a little upshift on that for aim. That's an 18 and a 2, and these dice are on fire today. I don't know what it is. It's like
Yeah.
very good. So 20 total.
Okay, that does another. That hits it.
Yay.
yay.
Just like playing a video game. All right, that's me.
Yes.
Still alive. Mugshot.
It's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous. Well, I mean, one thing I like to do is hit things. So she's gonna. Well, we're a little bit like. Okay, he's strapped in. Is everybody secure? Everybody got their seatbelts on and stuff.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
What?
run away.
Get out.
They're running away. That was the plan.
Oh my god! All right, so then I hit the gas. Is that what I'm doing? What the heck? All right, hit the gas and so gonna be a driving. I just what is
Driving.
Okay, plus. 17. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a 1 because the color. 17.
Great. You get your maximum movement, and you're on your way, beeline away from it.
60 feet area, 60 feet water. Okay. Good. So we're headed toward dry land then, somewhat.
Depending on where you drive, you could go more out into open waters, or you could head towards the island. You're about a mile away, so you've got plenty of movement to go whichever direction you want to go.
Okay, Circles. Are we headed toward the island? What do you think we should do?
Did we have a designated landing zone?
Check the mission brief.
What is wrong with us? How can we enter open water and not know where we're going? Well, since the game master brought up the island, I think there's probably something we should inspect in the island. We should go to the island.
Yes, the game master.
Actually, you brought up the island. I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring up the island. You did. You said you were heading towards dry land, and I was imagining what that would look like.
Dry land,
where you're heading towards dry land with D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R strapped underneath you. That doesn't look good to me in my mind.
But we can fly, so we could fly.
Yeah,
out.
I thought they had aerial
But
ability.
Cobra, you on purpose took submersibles to the island because you didn't want Cobra's radar to catch you guys.
Okay, I'd like to turn to Vale and say, any incoming intel from your little friend in your visor? Anything from him?
Nothing recent, but I mean, he definitely knows we're in the water somewhere. Maybe they don't know exactly where, so that's something on our side at least. But I say we just follow the mission brief and just we approach the island by water and try to sneak up on it.
All right.
Yeah, you can just stop in the water. D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R can get off the bottom. The shark can stay underwater undetected, hopefully.
That's
so wait, there's no way for him to get out from where this probably doesn't make
there
sense.
There is. It's just if you beach and he's on the bottom, and then he's just a skid mark across the land.
Not be good.
No.
Just approach the island
do that.
This whole rescue mission would have been a big waste of time if that's the plan.
Basically, just let him get off before we go on the land, if we're going on the land. Okay.
All right.
So towards the island? Are we going towards the island?
Well, are we away from the angler? I know they are. No, I didn't think so.
You're not. Yeah. Technically it's the angler's turn.
Right.
So I'm just after Mugshot, it's still your turn, Mugshot, but after Mugshot it is D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R's turn, then the angler's turn. So I'm just waiting to get a definite direction from you on what direction you're going. Even if you go even if you pull a beeline right towards the island, you're not going to beach anybody yet. You're way too far away from the island. So you can head towards the island if you want. Just don't. When you said dry land, that's what gave that vision in my head of
the mental picture. I'm sorry.
That's when you were imagining the land and how it would all look.
Yeah. They had it. Okay, so I think I would like to head toward dry land after speaking to my compadres, but not docked or anything yet. Just
in your turn, you're only going to make it 60 feet, so we're okay. We're quite okay. As a parting shot, D.I.S.O.R.D.E.R is now fully strapping himself in. The angler is now going for the closest ship, which is Circles and Diamond ship. So, clamping down. Here we go. Does get a 24.
Okay.
And because you were, it's going to go against your toughness because you were firing on it.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that'll be another sharp damage. How are you guys doing?
We are running at a shark.
Backshot him off or something.
Is there any eject button in here, Circles, if we need it? How does that work?
I think if we have to consider the eject button, we're just in a lot of trouble.
Great. Maybe we should, when we go back, suggest they put eject buttons into these sharks.
Yeah, or like an escape pod, maybe.
That would be good. Some kind of something. If we get out of this, we'll suggest it.
Circles, it's your turn, but can you, as a I will not count this against any of your free actions. Will you please make an alertness check for me?
All right. 11.
Okay. When you were fighting the other anglers and they were almost defeated, this supergiant angler is looking similar to the state that they were in before you almost defeated them.
Okay, their light's starting to dim. Because anglers.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Okay, good.
I
It's also
wish I
instruction.
thought of that. I should have made their light slowly start to dim.
Health bar.
That's why you wrote the book and I'm just playing the game, man.
All right, Diamond. Do you want to take this thing out?
Yes, let's
All right.
take it out. That way it can stop biting us.
I'm gonna ram it again.
Okay?
Okay.
Oh, I kept rocking back and forth between 6 and 9, and ended up on the 6, so that's only a 14.
It's not going to do it. Unless you want to... Do you have any...
No, I've been bleeding out story points today.
Okay. It is Diamond's turn. You could take a shot.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I can do because I cannot drive, so I will take a shot
Yeah. With edge.
with edge. And I take aim before I do, so I upshift. 18.
Oof.
18. It will not hit.
Ugh.
Diamond, I was
How'd
starting
you
to think
guys
this was not a great
roll
plan.
with an edge? Did you roll twice?
I did.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
I did. I
Sorry.
rolled a 5 on my first D20 and a 17 on my second D20.
Okay.
But thank you for reminding me as well.
It happens.
And a 1 on my 6. What is this?
Bummer.
Ugh.
It's now Vale's turn. You are in this
Okay.
ship that's driving away, but I think you could still take a shot because you're only 60 feet from
Yeah, it's got
From
some
the
range.
angler.
Here
yeah.
we go. I will take aim to upshift to a D8 for me for targeting. Do I also get an edge, right? Because
Yep.
yeah, okay, because I've not been rolling with an edge because I keep forgetting. I don't know what's
There
wrong
you
with
go.
Me too.
Well, the first one was like a 6, but my second one is a 19 and a 1. So that's a 20.
A 20 will hit.
Yeah.
And with that, the light goes out on the angler. And he is defeated and slowly swims away to his underground cave or something. And
Or something.
to live in
Crying.
to-
Crying as he
To club
Comes away to that
anglerfish.
farm upstate.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Au revoir.
I did it.
You did it.
Thanks, Vale.
Whew.
Our
Good
Hail
success.
Mary did not pay off, so I'm glad you were there for us.
Yes.
Gosh.
Merci.
Thanks a lot, team. I'm sorry that I lost my favorite shark, but luckily I still have my favorite life.
It was a joke.
Okay, I don't know. I guess I was really hyped up after the battle and thought I'd try a joke, but
No, it's working for
It
you.
was
We like
good.
this on you.
It was
It
good.
was good.
And look, we came back for you. We didn't just leave you. So I feel like that means that, we liked you enough to save you. Oh, I don't know where this conversation's going. I'm sorry. Oh.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was your responsibility to save me, but
Oh no, we had a choice. We just we made.
Yeah, the moon's our responsibility.
We thought about
that's
leaving you,
true.
but we didn't.
Dude, look, shut.
I appreciate that. Here, let me get on. If we're gonna still head towards the island, let me get on top of now. So once we get close enough. So pull to where, like, let's approach the island, and then when we get close enough, I'll jump off and then jump on the top so that I don't have to, so I don't get scraped.
Yep, that was the plan. Don't want to scrape ya. Right,
Okay.
Mug?
Don't get scraped. That doesn't sound good.
It didn't even come to mind. That's my problem. Okay.
All right.
You do it.
So you can tell from as you get closer to the island, that they're just a few yards from there's a thin beach surrounding the island, but just a few yards from it is incredible amounts of trees, undergrowth. It looks very swampy.
Ew.
So you could pick a spot to dock or beach.
Are you find a clear spot that's less, I guess, marshy?
Yeah, we can get
and we just
under some
pull up,
underbrush.
Stop.
Yeah, I mean, there's very easily lots of little inlets, little tiny inlets to hide your sharks under some brush, and then disembark.
All right. Well, let's do that. Something that sharks wouldn't be you wouldn't see the sharks unless you were really right on top of them.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
And Deep Six says, I'm kind of at an impasse here, because my mission was just to bring you to the island. It wasn't to go on the island.
Now you're on the island, yeah. I
In
see
this
that.
giant suit, I'm not really sure what I could do to help.
Well,
You got 2 sharks at your disposal. You do your mission, we'll do ours.
yeah.
Well, how are you going to leave the island if I take one of the sharks?
Wait, I thought you were patrolling. Wasn't that the plan? Weren't you going to patrol?
I was going to patrol.
So you can
Well,
still-
Your shark to patrol.
We can't call someone like with.
Unless, are you worried about the anglers? Because there might be more, I suppose. Which is a bit of a problem.
if there are, I'll just pilot away.
Okay.
Leaving us
So,
alone
We're
on
worried
this
about you,
island.
Deep Six, but that's another
Yeah.
Oh.
story.
After our rescue mission.
I'll
Save
get a
you.
secure line in back to the flag and get someone to bring some more sharks.
That's
How
a
about
good
that?
idea.
Thank you.
Sure.
Don't forget.
Or I'm sure there's plenty of watercrafts on this island. We could also commandeer one. I don't know. Anything's possible. We'll know when we know.
Just in case, can you take mine and Diamond's shark? It's a little worse for wear. Get it repaired and leave us one in case we have to fight our way out.
You got it. And I think honestly, I know that these only hold 2, but you could cram 4 people in there if you really wanted to.
And we could strap someone to the bottom, correct?
In a pinch. Well, not without one of these pressure suits.
Right.
Right. We didn't.
I'm not going on the bottom. I just want to put it out there now. If we have to put someone on the bottom, I would like to
All
say
right,
not
no
to.
one, no one's going on the bottom.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
Diamond,
Okay.
you're kind of the least qualified to be in the cockpit, so you'd be the prime candidate for the bottom.
That circles.
Anyway,
I've
hopefully
barely
that
been
doesn't
trained
come
in
to
these
that.
things. Oh my goodness.
I'll go back to the flag and we'll bring some more sharks back, fully repaired.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
We hope you had a good time on this adventure with us, Deep Six. It was meaningful.
I mean, I had a good time when you rescued me and I didn't die. So, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Mission
see you later.
accomplished. Not quite yet. Yeah. See you
Have
later.
a good mission.
Not
But
all
anyway,
Joes
you
can
are
be
now
social.
on this swampy island.
Great.
It feels easily over 100 degrees with high humidity.
Oh, Fahrenheit.
Yeah, not 100 Celsius.
Listen.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to.
My
100
God.
degrees Fahrenheit.
We're on the
cooked.
sun.
Everyone else boiling?
Yeah, Timon heard 100 degrees and was like, I am on fire. Oh my goodness. Like an oven in here.
So you'll need to walk around the perimeter of the island to find any path or trail inward.
All right. I've got some survival. I can lead that.
Oh, good.
Now, I said some survival.
What you meant was no survival, right?
Oh,
That's
D2.
What?
What?
I mean, it's something. It's more than we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be rolling with a disadvantage. I'd be rolling with a snag. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. How are we
What'd
doing
you get?
navigating this island? 9.
9. Nothing yet.
can I use my alertness maybe to like see if like I'm trying to look for if there might be like a path or some signs of where people have been walking?
Yeah. I'll let everyone
Yeah.
make alertness checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll use
Okay.
my
Me
Good.
included,
I'll
or
use-
did I use it up with my survival?
You used it up with your survival, sir.
Makes sense.
In
I'll use
fact, if
Bingo's.
anyone, I'll give you this. If anyone's if anyone's survival is higher than their alertness, you can choose.
Alertness is higher.
Ugh.
I rolled for
know this
bingo and I did roll 2, a 1 on each dice.
I rolled 4 to 2.
First.
That's a
Fumble.
Is that not a fumble?
It's a fumble for bingo, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or bingo
Still worried
is
about
like
bingo.
sad because of his knife, maybe. We fixed it.
Bingo. What,
Yeah, you
what the
fixed
heck?
Well, I mean, what else can we do? Because none of us are survival. None of us rolled well.
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 6.
It's too hot here. I can't focus.
Okay.
maybe we're hungry or something. Maybe we just need to. Maybe we need to sit. I don't know. Maybe we just sit down for a minute
Snack?
and just like.
No,
I
this is
packed
actually
cupcakes.
good.
Okay.
For my narrative plan, I'm going to use those bad rolls to apply to the story. So you do walk along the perimeter for about an hour, and you see what appears to be a small path inward. There, you do see footprints leading into the path, and it looks as if this was an area where maybe some landfall was taken by some small ship vehicles, whether they're amphibious vehicles or the hovercraft.
Oh, okay.
Are the footprints human?
The footprints are human, as far as you can tell.
Just making sure.
Do you think we should follow the footprints but try to stay in the brush then?
Yes,
Well, I think we
definitely stay in the
concealed.
brush. Do you want me to stealth ahead and see what I can see?
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. I will try.
Okay. But you've all walked in to like the edge of it, right? Like staying in the brush,
Yeah.
walking in. Okay. When you're doing that, you all fall into a pit.
Oh,
I mean,
Boy.
For bad rolls.
that's what those bad rolls were for. You all fall
Yeah.
down 20 feet into a pit, and each one of you takes 1 point of blunt damage from the
Oh
fall.
my gosh.
Oh boy.
Great. Blunt damage. Ooh.
All right.
and there's no caves or anything down here. We're in a hole together.
You're in a hole.
We're in a hole that's like what 6 feet across or something, or like is it huge?
It's about 20 feet down, and it's roughly 10 feet in diameter. It's sort of a circular-ish hole.
I mean, I would assume if the Cobra troopers accidentally fall in this pit, because we all know Cobra troopers, they seem not so good at what they do. Maybe there is a button that would, like a switch or something, that will help them get out. Maybe open up a secret passage. I'm going to look and see if I can find anything.
Okay. Make me an alertness check.
Okay. And I will roll with edge because I'm now looking for,
Something
no,
specific.
I don't know. Am I looking for something? Flaws in security? Is that what that would be? Would that be a flaw in security? I don't know.
No,
you
I
guys
would
think?
just say you're just looking for any clue.
Right. And it's not a hidden item, really, because it's not an item,
Right.
more of a device. Merde. 8.
While you're looking, I mean, this pit seems very basic. It's lined with dirt.
Okay.
But while you were looking, you, out of the corner of your eye, all of you see a net being thrown down upon you. So if you could all make acrobatics checks to see if you avoid the net.
I don't have acrobatics.
18.
12.
I rolled with a snag. I got 18, 19.
Wow.
Wow.
Should I roll for bingo or no?
You can roll for bingo.
Okay.
Got it.
I got 18.
Okay.
16.
And I was a 12 and bingo was 13. Somehow.
So the net does land on Vale and Bingo, but the other three of you managed to sidestep. Now the net's right next to you, and you're still, of course, in the pit. But you happened to sidestep the net, and then looking up, you see the silhouettes of 4 faces looking down on you, and one looks down and says, "Ooh, look at what we got here! It's a basket of G.I. Joes!"
Oh, no.
And one says to the other one, "This'll be like shooting fish in a barrel."
If the fish shot back, and I pull out my SMG.
All right. We're in initiative.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What? Come on.
But before you do that, the other one says to the other one, "Why would anyone want to do that anyway?" "Do what?" "Shoot fish in a barrel. Doesn't seem like much fun." "It's just an expression, you moron." And now we're in
We've run
initiative.
into
All right.
No, Vale. No.
You got a 3?
It's fine. I'm in the net anyway, so I could probably do the least. It's fine.
Okay.
18 babies.
Me and bingo and take a nap.
18.
we're not doing great.
You got an 18, a 3. Circles what you got.
I got a 19.
19. Great.
Ding ding.
Wow.
And Diamond?
15.
15. Okay. Great. One of the Dreadnoks does get the jump. He sees you pulling out your gun, and he already had his shotgun at the ready. So he's firing down into it.
What? He's literally firing just into the pit like this.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Well, Circles
Like fish
pulled
in a
out his...
barrel right now.
As he says.
Should they help us out before they shoot us?
What's that?
Yeah, so, like, yeah, of course they're shooting us in the hole. Like, why would they shoot us in the hole?
I can't believe it's unfair.
Luckily, his shot goes wide and doesn't hit anybody, because with shotguns, just so that you know, they have a cone blast of 15 feet. And because the pit that you're in is only 10 feet wide, that cone blast would hit everyone. And you're already down 1. So, Circles.
All right, I'm going to shoot my SMG. Only got a D4 in targeting. It's not my main thing. Ooh, but that's... Got the 4 on the D4, but I only got a 5 on the D20. So a 9. 9 shooting up in the air at anybody that I'll hit.
Yeah.
That is not going to hit, unfortunately.
All right, then I'm going to... I should have started with yo jokes, and I could have tried to climb out of the pit. But oh well. So I am going to enter Fighting with Reckless Abandon, and I'm going to try and climb out of the pit.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, that's an 18 to climb.
And that
18
was athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
Great. Yeah, you successfully... I'm trying to think. 20 feet up. I would say you make it halfway up.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, this is climbing. Actually, you make it 15 feet up, right? Because climbing would be half your...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you are almost to the top.
All right.
Right, Vale, it did not hit you.
Okay,
But
sorry.
if
The
it
wording
were to,
was,
if
it was like a double
his
negative.
roll was high enough, then we would say
Okay.
who it would hit. But he only rolled a 7. So,
All right, copy that.
Then Mugshot is your turn.
Oh my goodness, this is like a really improbable situation you've put us in, Jim. Okay, so what I'm thinking. Okay.
Feels like a G.I. Joe adventure to me.
As G.I. Joe as possible. Okay, so you guys know what a basket toss is? Do you know what a basket toss is? Okay, it's a cheerleading move where,
Oh,
Vale knows what it is.
Yeah.
You hold hands like this. Two people hold hands. They put their hands down. One person steps in the middle, and literally the two people can throw someone up into the air.
Okay.
Great.
I mean, so I guess I'd be acrobatics to see if they can do it or something, because I'd like them to spring me up so I could literally like slow motion go down.
So what you would need to do is, so Diamond and Vale would need to agree to do that. You would would use a contingency action and wait for them.
Okay.
What you could also do is what Circles did. You could fire once and then roll athletics to try to climb up the side.
Is
and
that
if you
more?
roll high enough, then you'll make it almost to the top.
Yeah. Plus, Mugshot, I'm under net right now, so I probably have to roll to get out of that first. And
Right.
whole thing.
Vale
So I
still
would-
needs to pull the net off.
But I see you. with your
Also,
cheerleading
not
moves.
very strong. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
If
I
I was
would
more
drop
strong,
He's
I'd be
"Wait a
better.
minute."
You shall understand. Vale would just
I'm
is like
halfway
doodling.
into the pit, like, oh, that's a good idea, Mugshot, but
Dang
I'm
it,
already up here.
yeah.
man. All right. Cancel requisition rolling. Number 2, she's gonna sprint, attempt to climb the wall. Close to my blade. Oh, but I do have a blade in my hand. Good. All right. So let's see. Let's roll it and see what happens. I don't. Oh well. Come on. 15.
That's the number I was looking for. So you are now 15 feet up the wall.
Okay. Like
And the wall's 20 feet high.
Okay.
It's
Good.
it's dirt. It's loose. You can you can find a handhold.
Okay. Purchase.
But could she use her standard action to climb the rest of the way?
Oh, because you're right. Because you didn't fire. You could roll again to try to get to the top.
And this is the same roll, right?
This is another athletics roll.
Same roll. Okay. Come on.
Difficulty is not as hard though, because you're
And
already
unless I use a story point.
What did you get?
I got a 10, but I could use a story point.
A 10 will get you there. Because
Okay.
a 15's going to get you 15's going to get you up, and then the 10's going to get you to the top.
Okay, so she
You're
literally
now you're now at the top,
Okay.
and you've pulled yourself up to the top of the pit, and there's 4 dreadnoks among you.
Okay, so I spring the last few feet, land at the top, and I'm like, haha! It's your lucky day. I can't do anything.
But that's
left
all.
that-
That's all you can do. That's all you
Okay,
can do.
that's what
Yeah.
That's it.
But you're there. You can start
I'm there.
wailing away next turn.
Okay.
So you did that all in 6 seconds, which I think is very impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Basic training.
Okay, Diamond.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to climb that. That looks very high for me. So I think while y'all are climbing, I'm going to cover you, Circles. And so Diamond's going to take out her bow and she's going to try to shoot them from where she is. I'm going to take aim, so I get an upshift on that.
Great. And luckily they're all, peering over, so there's really no cover. You've got plenty of targets.
Great. I love that. Great. Let's try that.
I mean, one might argue that they have partial cover, but in this game you either have cover or you don't. And they're all standing at the edge peering over. So in my opinion, if you're back here, go for it.
It sounds like what they'd be doing. I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very good. These dice today. What is with these dice? So that is what is that math? A 13.
A 13 will hit.
Oh, great. All right. So I do. Wow. Okay. Sweet. I do 1 sharp damage, and because I'm using a silent weapon and I'm close to my allies here, even Vale, although Vale is under a net, I think that still is okay. Then I get an extra additional damage, so 2 sharp damage. And I'm going to because I didn't move really from where I was, I just took out my bow and fired. I'm going to defend as a free action.
Okay. Well, the one that you got, who was peering over, what? And you have successfully defeated him, and he's fallen down into the pit.
Oh.
Excellent.
Unconscious.
Good start.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like Diamond is
wonderful.
like laughing in a very concerningly maniacal way.
Mm.
But it is now the other 3 guys' turns. So,
Great.
and Mugshot, there you are. So one is going to try to take a swing at you.
Okay. Braced.
And gets a 20.
Oh, of course. Your dice are fired, by the way.
Well, you don't know what bonuses my guys get. So, so you take 1 point of blunt damage.
Tanking, so it leaves me with 1, and I don't know. I could skip a turn and heal myself with a D2, but because my perk. I don't know if I want to do that yet.
We're all alone up there
I'll
right
stay
now.
there. I'll be fine with it. Go on.
The one that was on the other side that I should have actually had make a shot earlier with the other ones. He's firing into the pit, so potentially shooting Vale and Diamond, or Vale and Bingo.
Okay.
Who is he aiming
Because
for?
from what I understand, the way the rules work with a shotgun is you can damage up to 2 targets. Am I correct?
That's
But no
right.
more than 2?
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see what they get first. Oh, his guy, he rolled a natural 1,
Yes.
and he only gets a D2 with his aiming, so he gets a 3.
I cursed
But
you.
that wouldn't be a bungle, right? Or would it?
That would be a fumble. You can get story points as the GM. There's a whole section on that, which we haven't really touched on yet.
What?
Okay, well, I get a story point then.
I like this game.
I'm gonna mark that down.
A story
Yeah, when we
points
get story
murder
points,
us.
we're like, yay. When Jason
Yeah.
gets story points, we're like, no, don't do it.
Polar bear appears. Oh no.
And then there's one more, and that one has a bat Mugshot, and he's going to try to take a swing at you with his bat.
Not to be confused with this kind of bat or the bat that we fought in the.
Neither of these.
Swinging a battle android troop.
Yeah.
Every kind of bat has been in
Listen, in this game, there's
Like a
3
chicken.
bats, okay? There's 3 types of bats.
Gotta get them all.
Goodness.
Was there some sort of Dracula story arc with G.I. Joe? I feel like there must
my
be.
gosh.
So when they were
That's
combing the
hilarious.
tombs of history's greatest leaders to get the DNA to create Serpentor, the cloned emperor of Cobra to replace Cobra Commander, one
my
of
gosh.
the donors of DNA was Vlad the Impaler, also known as Dracula.
Right.
All right, see, now my dice are bad. I rolled a 3.
Yay.
But now it's Vale's turn. So Vale, here's the thing. You don't have to roll, but you're not going to be able to do anything but pull that net off of you and bingo.
Okay.
You basically
what do I
have
roll?
lost a turn.
Okay. What do I roll for pulling it off? All right. I just get it.
No, you don't have to roll,
I
but
see, I see.
you're going to take your turn. It's not a magical. It's not a magical net, or there's no nanotechnology in the net. It's just a net. But
Okay.
you've got to try to pull it off. So I'm making you lose your turn, but
That's fine.
you will be free.
And I just go, "Don't worry about me. I'm totally fine. Just keep doing what y'all are doing. I'm Great. Good job, everybody. A+ work.
You know,
You
you could
hacked
say
that
veiled
net.
that you were veiled for a moment, but soon you will be free.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say that, Diamond. Thank you for the suggestion, though.
Okay,
Could
I'll
you make
just
an
say
internet
it's fine.
pun with the net?
Oh my god.
I hate it. My turn's over. Someone else go.
No, we're not letting you end your turn yet.
Any free actions?
Oh,
Do I get any
God.
free actions? No.
No free actions, nothing.
All right. Never mind.
You're concentrating on pulling that net off. So now we're back up to the top of initiative.
Circles.
The enemy, no, the one of the dreadnoughts actually goes first. The first one that fired into the pit. The second one that fired into the pit was defeated by Diamond and has fallen into the pit, but there's still one left. Now that his buddy has fallen into the pit, even though he's defeated, he's not going to fire in there, but he's going to turn his shotgun on you, Mugshot, because you're up there across the thing from him, and he may actually hit one of his own friends up here, but the Dreadnoughts don't always think about stuff like that. They act first, and especially Dreadnought trainees. They act first and try later. So I'm going to roll for his targeting. Luckily, he gets a 8 and fires over everyone's head. Circles. You're 5 feet from the top. Just get me a 10 or higher on athletics.
Come on, circle.
That's what I'm doing.
Come on.
I got a 12.
Great. You have managed to pull yourself to the top. There are 3 dreadnoughts up here. One looks tougher than the other 2.
One looks tougher than the other 2. Which one looks tougher?
Well, it's a circle. You're up here. I guess the middle one that is in between the one. So one of the 2 with a shotgun just looks bigger, tougher, and meaner. The one here is the one with the bat that just tried to swing at Mugshot, and then there's one over here with a shotgun as well.
All right. We'll save the tough one for later. I'm going to go for the one over there with the shotgun. And I've got my
across
SMG
from
out,
you,
so...
across this circle. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I will aim, and I will fire. 13 to hit.
13 will hit the one across the way. Yes.
All right. 1 sharp damage.
Okay. Zartan doesn't give us enough gold for this. Mugshot.
Gold?
Oh my god, this is funny. So I'm now up here with 3 still.
There's 3, but also Circles is with
One
you.
felon. Okay, and I have Circles like standing next to me. At least we're even. At least I feel more secure with the odds. Me. 3.
Yeah.
So are all 3 evenly distanced from me, or is like one closer?
Well, the one with the bat is right on top of you. And then there's 2 with shotguns. And one looks tougher than the other with the shotgun.
One looks okay. So Mugshot's of course gonna look at the one that's giving her the evil eye, because that doesn't roll with that at all. So with this, she's gonna pull out her bazooka. I'm just kidding. She's going to look at the guy, and I think what she would do is she would like lunge at him with the gun, attempting to like grapple him to disarm him completely. The tougher looking one. The one with the
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you can try to grapple him.
Yes.
And so you need to beat she needs to beat his evasion or toughness?
Evasion.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
All
that
right.
wrong last time.
What's your evasion or toughness? Sorry.
No, you need to beat this guy's evasion.
Okay, so let me get mine. Mine is Can I use my targeting then?
No, because I think it's just straight. Is it might or brawn?
Might.
Oh, it's a might. Well, that's even better. Thank you. All right. I'm trying to think of making sure I have no other like perks or anything I can add to this before I make this roll because I'm using them all. All right. It's like you have an idea in your head of what you want to do, but then when it is actually your turn and initiative, you end up changing your mind and doubting yourself. It's the worst. I'm using story point. 19. Oh, 19. Oh, thank God.
19's good.
Yeah, thank God.
But what I'm wondering is, so what will that do, Ryan? So she's trying to grapple the larger one with the shotgun. She does beat his evasion score. Does that disarm him or just render him grappled so he can't make an effective shot?
Doesn't he like lose a turn and then he loses?
So
he has to roll to get out of it the next turn? Or
he has to use a standard action to try and escape. Using either athletics, might, or finesse against the grappler's toughness. He suffers a snag on all other skill tests. Anyone attacking him gains an edge on... melee attack specifically. And they will target his evasion. And his movement is reduced to 0 for as long as he's grappled.
Okay, but...
I'm thinking about circles with a hammer.
I've got a hammer.
Mugshot has to stay grappling him,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, okay. All right, Diamond, it's your turn.
Okay, so I think I'm going to try my... Well, Circles is up now.
Circles is up.
So it might be a good time for me to climb out of this pit now. Kind of just wanted to make sure there was at least 2 people up there so that people weren't trying to shoot me while I'm trying to climb, because I feel like that's a lot. That's too much for me. So I will put my bow away now and I'll try to climb up. So is that athletics or acrobatics?
Whichever, I will say, whichever one is better for you. Athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, it's the same. So
and roll away. Roll on.
All right. So that's a 13.
That won't get it.
Yeah.
I wanted you to get a 15 to get to the first rung and then a 10 to get all the way up. Now, you can try if I'm understanding the rules right, you could try one more time. You would only get to the first point, but at least that would get you almost to the top.
Right. I could try one more
correct?
time, or I could like stay where I am at the bottom and just. Well, I put my bow away as a free action, but I could take it out as a free action.
You
I
have
got 6 free actions.
6 free actions. Is that correct, Ryan?
Everything except for putting the bow away as a free action. I think a bow's a long weapon. And so that takes longer to put away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so long weapons, it's a standard action. It's not even a move action.
Oh.
Oh.
To take it out and put it away?
Yeah.
Oh, so I shouldn't have been able to fire it then last time. That was my oopsie. Oops. Okay.
Okay.
We're learning. It's okay. I'm not gonna.
What we do.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could also kind of argue if you wanted at the beginning of like a fight that like as we're rolling initiative, that's kind of the time everybody takes out a weapon and you could choose what weapon is like for free if you wanted.
Right.
I guess
or
that's
you
up
could
to
have
the
been walking
GM.
around with your bow out.
Just having my bow. That's true. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I did put it away and I will stick with that. So I'll try to climb again.
Okay.
Oh, that's cocked. So let me re-roll that. That is 18.
Okay.
Oh,
so you have now made it 15 feet up the 20-foot deep pit. You are almost at the top, but that's all that you can do now. And it is the tough guy's turn and one of the other guys with the shotgun. So the tough guy is going to try to break out of the grapple by rolling a might roll.
It's athletics, might, or finesse against the grappler's toughness.
Okay.
You have to beat a 16, my friend.
All right. Does not beat a 16, so stays grappled. And the other one with the shotgun who was... Okay,
Yeah.
so he put his shotgun away, pulled his bat out, and is looking menacing. And now it's Vale's turn.
Well, one other option, he could make an unarmed attack, which he doesn't need to draw anything for that. And then next turn, pull the bat out and then attack with it.
Okay, he would probably know that, so he's going to take a swing at you.
Oh, why did I tell him?
See? That's what you get for knowing the rules and giving me the options.
All right, so he's either doing 1 stun damage, or he can take a downshift on his might and do 1 blunt damage.
Okay. I think he's just going to try to do a stun damage.
Okay.
He gets a 16.
You needed a 19.
Okay, well, he'll learn next time what to maybe pull that bat out. Now it is Vale's turn.
Okay.
And Bingo's turn.
Is from where I'm standing, could I shoot one of the baddies, or are they not? Do I not have line of sight from my angle?
You can get a line of sight from where you are.
Okay. In that case, I will use my free action to take out my gun, activate aim, and I have my laser sight upgrade on it, so I get to roll with a D10, which is very exciting for me. That's it's 8 plus 6, 14.
14.
That does not hit, right?
That will hit the one that you were targeting.
Cool. I do that thing, and it is I think when I requisitioned it, I just kept it with fire damage because I really like that. That was nice.
So one fire damage?
One.
Okay.
Yeah. Fire laser damage. Unclear. So that was my standard action, 2 free actions. And then I guess I'll use my movement to try to start to get out of the... Is it movement to try to get out of the pit, or is that an action to get out of the pit since it's climbing?
I think we were using it with a move action. Just you have to make... I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics roll. But let me ask you this. What's Bingo doing? Or you can't... Because
I've used... so I was either going to use my movement rolls to get me started to get out, or use my movement roll to... Oh, no, I can only make
tell
him
Bingo
attack,
to do something.
Yeah, I can only tell him to attack, and he's still in the pit, so really I can only start to climb.
Okay. Start climbing.
Okay. So I'm going to use athletics as a D2. Oh, look at me. I do have something in athletics. That's a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Can't quite find a foothold just yet.
It's fine. Never mind. I'll just stay down here. You feel like you all got it. So I'm great. I want to be down here. That's my turn.
Okay. The one... Now, the first one with the bat, the not as tough one with the bat, is also going to try to take a swing at Circles. Up there.
Bring it on.
Gets a 7.
Wow.
Just keeps whiffing.
Yeah.
Circles. So what you have is a wounded, wounded. Actually, everybody's got a bat now, or they're grappled. So you've got 2 wounded ones with bats. The tougher one being grappled currently by Mugshot. All up here at the top of the lip of the pit.
All right. Now I am a sucker for an environmental effect. How close is the guy who attacked me to the edge of the pit?
Very close. Like within maybe a couple feet.
Okay, so if I did a maneuver, I could shove him back 5 feet, and that would be enough for him to fall?
That would be enough to toss him into the pit, yes.
It's not the best move, but it's the move I'm going to do.
Okay.
So I've got my upshift 2 from my fighting with reckless abandon, but it's downshift 1 to do a maneuver as an unarmed attack. Oh, with a 23 to shove this guy into the hole.
Okay, you managed to shove him into the hole, and because you all took 1 blunt damage from falling into the hole, so does he. He was already injured, so you have now defeated that enemy as well.
All right. I figured I was either going to knock him out with the fall or I was feeding him to Bingo.
That the one with the bat or the one that just had his fist currently?
That was the one with the bat. The one with the fist was getting his bat out.
Right.
You just hear Vale yell, "Thanks for the friends, teeny company down here." I'm just like dodging dudes.
Oh, yeah, Vale. Look out below.
Watch out.
It's
on the
fine.
way before you.
No, it's fine. There's extra weapons down here if you need any bats.
That's the last one. I just had to do one.
Okay. No, I think there's more up there, right? Just keep tossing them down. It's
Yeah,
fine.
he's not the last one. He's
Right.
just the only one I'm throwing in the pit.
Literally inches from you, Vale. Just fun.
I'll warn you next time.
If
there's
I'm
a next
fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Great, doing great.
All right, I'll draw my hammer.
Okay. And that's it for you.
I guess I got free actions. How close? I can't. No. Yes, that's it for me.
Okay. So Mugshot, it's your turn, but you're currently grappling the tough guy. You're muted.
Either continue to grapple him by doing another roll, right? Or can I sit up and like start punching him in the face?
I mean, you could do that, but then you wouldn't be grappling him anymore, right?
Right.
No, it would just be, he would be ungrappled basically, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just whether or not I feel like he needs to keep being grappled. Does that leave me wide open to his compadres coming at me down there? I wanted to knock him down so that I would have an advantage on the next move that I did. That was sort of like something I did. I don't know.
Sure. So just to call out the rules, grappling ends when either grappler is defeated or unconscious, or if the person who initiated the grapple moves away from it. So it could continue. You are considered grappled too, so you could attack him with a snag because everyone in the grapple has a snag for any skill test other than to break the grapple.
So everyone does. So it would be one downshift?
Yeah, so he would still...
No, it would be a snag. So you'd roll 2 d20s and take the lower roll. Okay. But then you could still add your if you were punching him, you could still add your might, for example, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we have 2 in the pit, 2 up top. One of the 2 up top is being grappled by me, and one is sort of one is just standing there getting his bat out. Pulling it out?
One's getting his bat out, one's being grappled by you, and then that's it. One was still in the pit and killed and defeated, and one was defeated up at the top.
Okay, great. So you know what? I'm gonna keep I'm trying to think like in a fight sequence. I mean, he'd be struggling, but she would continue to hold him down, I think, because she would continue to hold him down. That's what she would do, even though she's planning to punch him out. But for now, she's just going to keep grappling him. So that's what she's going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I still at a snag for this or no? To continue grappling?
From what I believe is that you can still hold the grapple from the roll before. You don't need to roll for the grapple again. And I believe that you could still try to punch him,
but it's a snag.
With a snag and still hold the grapple.
Exactly.
Correct? Ryan?
Correct.
Yeah, so there's no reason why you shouldn't try to punch him right now, because you can still hold him in that grapple.
I like these rules. Okay. Let's hope the snag rings true though, even with. Let's see. Well, I got a crit on the D, so that's 8. Oh, a 10. Taking the lower 20. Yeah.
No, not for for this guy that's not gonna work because this is the tough guy. But he's still grappled.
Okay.
Okay, Diamond.
All right. Let's get out of these pits, baby. Try to get out of this pit.
Because you're halfway up, right? As you
Yeah.
said? Okay.
I was 15. I think you said 15,
15
feet
feet
up.
up.
So.
Half your movement.
Okay, there we go. All right, 20.
You're up on the top and can do something.
I made it. Okay. What
There's
can I do?
Well, I'm not sure what the rules are about attacking a grappled opponent that's being grappled by someone else.
I can
think he's at a
bludgeon him.
disadvantage, right? Or
Can't I?
something like
Yeah, I think you
I
get
have
an edge.
I believe
Right,
that's right. Let me pull this up again. Yeah, grants an edge to all melee attacks that target the grappled character.
Beautiful. So I actually decided this time, instead of taking a blade, I decided to take a close combat bludgeon. So I have one Eskrima stick.
Nice.
So I'm going to take that out and just like beat him with it.
Okay.
And I believe I get a roll finesse for that weapon. Is that right?
Yeah, all
Did I make that
the
up?
melee weapons are either fight or finesse or might.
Finesse or might, right? So, do you just choose, or is there anything that determines? There's always like you as the aggressor kind of decide how you want to use that weapon,
Yeah, exactly.
like either finesse or might. Okay. So let's see what happens. I don't think there's anything I can do to get any upshifts from this. No, I don't think so. So we'll just try it.
Okay. But you do have an edge, though. Don't forget to roll.
Oh, right. I have the edge. Right.
Because it's being grappled.
Ugh. Be nice if I rolled better on these edges. Well, I got a 10.
So the highest score is a 10? No.
Yes.
Sorry. It just things they're rolling around and you just can't get a good shot in.
Yeah, it's I think I'm like winded from climbing. I imagine that must be what's happening to diamonds.
Yeah.
No, just give me a second.
But it is his turn now to try to break out. And he's
Great.
going to try to do that, of course. And he has to beat her toughness?
Yeah, he has to beat the grappler's toughness.
Okay. This time I got a 24. Okay. Oh, you're muted. Sorry. But I could tell that you don't. You're muted. You're muted.
I just made a noise.
Oh, okay. God, would have been great. Would have been great to have that audio. So now that he is ungrappled, though, is that his full action, or can he still do an attack?
That was his standard action.
Okay. So he's gonna try to punch you.
Punch me?
But that was
or
his
is that
standard
it?
action.
Oh, that would have been the standard action.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that's all really he could move.
He could move. If you've got something fun he could do with free actions.
Yeah, even the tough guy, his speed is only 2.
Okay.
So he's just going to take a couple of steps back. He saw the move that you made, Circles, and doesn't want to have any part of that either. So he takes as many steps back as he can. Then that will be it for him. And now it is Vale's turn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to get out. Just wait till y'all are done up there. And I use my, I'll use my standard action to command. How does this work? I use my standard action to command Bingo to go up there.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me roll for that real quick to make sure he listened to me. Totally passes. That's 22. And then I'll use my movement to command him to attack the last boy up there. And that's a might of D4. That is a 18 total to hit with a piercing slashing damage.
And 18's going to hit the
Sharp.
guy with the bat.
Good job, Bingo. Hope you're having fun up there with everyone else. Well,
That actually defeats that. That actually defeats that baddie too.
Awesome.
So slumps down.
Bingo, you're getting quite a kill streak going.
I made him. It's basically me, but it's not that. It's fine. Yeah, Bingo's great.
Oh, excuse me, Vale. I was having a conversation here. So Bingo.
Small black tear comes out of Vale's face.
Bingo is the secret, literally the secret weapon of this
MVP,
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the last guy?
No, there's still the tough guy left.
Oh, right.
who Was being grappled by Mugshot and is currently uninjured. So
Okay. That's the end of my turn then.
a little bit of that. Yep. But now the one that you killed was the last one in that first position in inventory. So now it's initiative. And now it is one of those in words. And now it is Circles' turn.
All right, I'm going to move up to him, and I'm going to attack him with the hammer. I'm going to attack one-handed so that if I hit, I knock him prone. That is a 20 to hit.
That is not quite going to hit him.
Oh, because the other thing I was going to say is that would have been a crit.
Sorry. Yep, no, misses. Just barely, but bounces off of his armor. And he has spiked and reinforced plates on his armor.
Yeah.
So he's wearing spiky stuff now that you get a good look at him.
Bingo, can you lend me a sword over here?
He'll
Mugshot.
go in due time.
No, we have to get down there. Okay, so it's me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the dude just got out of my grapple, and the only what do you call it? Blunt weapons I have are my fists, or I can take my bazooka off my back once again and smack him with it, like boom. Can I do that and use the mechanics of just this for flavor?
You could smack him with the bazooka, but I think the upgrade that you did to your fists would do more damage on a hit.
Really?
Yes.
All right, I don't mind punching people. So that's what she does. He stands up, fist of fury. I guess it's one punch, but so anyway, I see it's like lightning. It's almost like a hummingbird. You know how they look like moving when they're fluttering their wings? It looks like she's like this, but it's really yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Might.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I like the visual idea in my head. That's why.
I love it. I love that you're always describing it. What'd you roll?
25.
That's going to hit. And so I believe that does that do 2 blunt damage?
Two
Two
blunt.
2 stun damage? Okay.
Stun damage, that's right. Fist of Fury.
Diamond.
Right. So Diamond is not feeling this bludgeon. She's gonna move away, and she's gonna just tuck that back in her, I don't know, utility belt or whatever we have. I imagine this is G.I. Joe. Imagine we all have utility belts. Yeah. And so yeah, she's gonna use her move action to basically move back. Can I do something to move extra? I can push myself to move a little bit further away. I just want to be in a good range for my bow. So
yeah, I think with your speed, you'll be able to back up enough to take a good shot with your bow.
Okay. So I'll back away and then put my Eskrima stick away, and I'm going to take out I'm going to take out my bow, and that is, I think, a standard action because it is
so that is a move action. I made a mistake. I misjudged the size of the bow. The bow is medium, so it's a move action.
Oh, okay. So it's a move action to do it. Okay. So I only have one move action though. So maybe if I just use, well, how does this work, Ryan? If I am pushing myself, I have to have already moved, right? I can't push myself to just move.
Right. By the rules is written, pushing yourself adds to your movement. It's not like taking a 5-foot step.
Right. But I could sprint as a free action because I have that ability.
You can.
So
Yes.
Right. So I will. So in that case, I'll put the scream stick away, sprint with a free action, and then use my move action to pull out my bow. And now I'm ready to go for next round.
Okay.
Bye. Says, salut. Says Diamond as she runs away.
And it's now the tough guy's move, and he because everyone is in close range here, and he just knocked his clock. Can he take out a weapon and use it with a speed of 2, or would he have to just take a punch?
Because he's been stunned and he loses his move action, he wouldn't be able to do that this turn.
Absolutely
Most
not.
turns
That's
he
right. But all he can do is take a punch. Is throw a punch, right? Or he can't even throw a punch. He can throw a punch.
Yeah, you can throw a punch.
Okay, so he's going to throw a punch. He gets a 17 mugshot.
And that's against my toughness.
Yes.
And now he hits. Yeah, he hits.
He hits? Okay. You take 1 point of blunt damage.
Okay.
It was just a straight up punch.
Oh gosh. Okay. I may have to take because I'm at 1 now. I may have to take miss a turn. Would I do that now, or can I decide after I see what happens with everybody?
Yeah, you would decide that on your next turn. You would.
Okay.
And
All
so
right.
there's a few when we get. There's Vale has a turn, Circles has a turn, and then your third.
Then I can decide.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so it is now Vale's turn.
Hey, line of sight from the bad boy from down here, or nah?
No, because he stepped away from the.
Yes, he did.
The pit.
So I couldn't even command Bingo because I can't see. Wait.
Can Bingo?
Never mind. I don't have a. Well, I have the basic remote skill system, so I don't know if that gives me visual from Bingo. I am not. The way it's worded, it's not clear.
But I would think if you gave Bingo the order to attack, whether you could see the enemy or not, Bingo would
still work.
I think Bingo would still work. Yeah.
Okay, let's.
That seem fair to everybody else?
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like Bingo knows who we are, so Bingo wouldn't attack us.
Yeah.
Facial recognition software that I've integrated. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Program.
I just just gonna wait here till someone puts a rope down. I'm not gonna jump. And I order Bingo to do the thing. Let's see the command. Just makes it at a 10. Whew. And then to hit his might is his D4. That's a 6, but I feel like this is important, so I am going to use my story point that I had from all my fumbles I had before. I like it. Okay, that's an 18.
Still doesn't hit. He's a tough one. He's got those plates, those metal plates for armor. So the sword comes down heroically and then bounces right off of his armor.
Oof. Just kind of goes.
Yeah.
All right, that's me.
Okay, now we're back up to the top of the order, and so that is Circles.
Seems like we were having a much easier time hitting this guy when we were grappling him. So I'm going to do that.
There was some edge involved, yes.
Hey.
Exactly. We got enough people within range now. Natural 1 and a 3 on the 8, so I fumble. I fumble my grapple.
Well, you do get a story point.
Yay, story point.
Yeah.
Yay.
But you can't use it right now.
Oh, no.
So, okay, mugshot.
That's me. It's my
Right,
name.
unless Circles, do you want to do anything else?
No, I'm really an all standard action kind of character.
Okay.
Okay. It's just going to be another round of the Fist of Fury for you. This is a really tough decision, though. I wanted to use the Fist of Fury, but I'm really afraid of my health.
How many health points do you have?
1.
Left?
Yeah, look at your face. You're like, ooh. You know what?
You should...
I'm up here. Yeah, I'm up here with you. We have a shot going. Circles is still here. Vale is on her way up. She can command Bingo. I'm going to take the D2 and heal. I'm
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah, I would
There
heal.
you go.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, I had to get 1. That gives me 2 health points. Okay.
Better than 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to die twice in 2 episodes. Die. Unconscious twice in 2 episodes.
Right.
She needs to calm down.
Defeated.
Okay.
Just defeated. It's okay.
Defeated.
Live to fight another day. Okay, Diamond, it is now your turn.
All right. Well, I have my bow. I'm going to take aim. So I get an upshift on my targeting. I'm going to fire that bow. Think that's what we're doing. Yeah. Let's try it. Hey, that is a 21.
That
Oh, wait.
will hit. That will hit.
Yeah, that is a 21. That hits. And I rolled a 6, so it's a crit. And because oh no, I'm probably not within everybody now because I'm further back. So yeah, it does 1 sharp damage, but it's also a crit. So that means that it does the
2
next
sharp?
thing up 2 sharp.
Would that be 2
Or-
sharp damage, or would that be sharp damage plus some sort of stun or something?
So it doesn't have an alternate effect, so it would just be the effect done again.
Okay, so just 2. Right. Yep.
Okay,
You're
that
sneak attacking,
then
right?
he had 2 health left.
Oh, good.
So you have now
Boom.
defeated the Dreadnought Bruiser. Those were 3 Dreadnought Drainees and 1 Dreadnought Bruiser. So you are now on the island. What will our Joes do next? Will they fall into another pit? Will they find the missiles? Find out next week on episode 9 of the G.I. Joe role-playing game.